Hello, who should get the house on a divorce or separation? It is a question that we are commonly asked. I'm Ali Carter and I'm the founder of Mediate UK. So who gets a house? It's not a given. There is no fixed or set answer on this, but there are some factors that should be taken into consideration. The first factor is whether you are married or whether you're not married. If you're cohabiting, you fall under a different law. It's called talata, than if you are married, where you fall under marital law. So that can make a big difference. If you are cohabiting, unless you have an agreement or something drawn up beforehand, then you'll be looking at a 50-50 division, but there may be a reason to divert from that. It gets more difficult, more of a grey area if you are married. And this is because the courts want to look at, for example, whether you have children, where those children will be staying, the length of the marriage, what your earning capacity is, what your mortgage capacity is. And mortgage capacity can be a key factor in deciding where you're both going to be living. So I'm going to give you a very high level example, and this is where you have two children. We're going to, two children, been married for a long time, in a relationship before that, and you're trying to decide where to live. You've got a 4-bedroom house, and you look at your children and you say, okay, boy and a girl, they're both teenagers, so they need their own room. So if they're spending equal time with the parents, or close, ample time with both parents, you're going to both need a 3-bedroom property. And that then dictates what should happen to the house. How can we afford 2 3-bedroom properties in the area where you want to live and to make it all work? Now, that might not be possible, and if you can't do that, you would then have to have some sort of discussions around, okay, well, do we buy 1 3-bedroom property, or do we keep our current property and one of us rents, and all of those options there. But who gets a house will very much depend on what your needs are, and you've got to look at the needs, because that is what will make the biggest difference to it, were you to go to court and have all the time and expense there. So have a look at what your needs are. If you've got very young children, there would be an argument to have a need that they could stay in the same room, and so if you've got 2 young children, a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, your need could well be a 2-bedroom property. If they're a bit older, especially if they're not of the same sex, then your need would be a 3-bedroom property. And you've also got to have a look for the other party as well, and what their needs are. And that could depend on how long the children are staying with them, where and when, and how much there is in the pot. So the first thing I recommend clients to do is get yourself on Rightmove, have a look in an area where you want to be living, how much is a property to meet your need. And if you've got 2 children, you don't need a 4-bedroom property. That's kind of the outcome from it. If you can afford a 4-bedroom property, and that's what you both agree, that's absolutely fine. But you've got to look at need first, and then upscale if you can from there. So I hope that's a really good starting point to start your discussions on what's going to happen in the house. I will just add that there's not an awful lot of point in selling a 4-bedroom property if you then can't buy the 3-bedroom property to meet your needs. So again, those are all discussions you need to have. Mortgage capacity, can you actually buy a place? What can you earn? Where can you afford to buy? The court is not going to make either of you homeless in most situations. Good luck with all your discussions on it.